Question 7. Anne wants to determine how much better a store brand fertilizer works in a soil as a soil enhancement rather than a homemade compost when growing tomatoes. To investigate, she plants two tomato plants in each of five planters. Each plant in each planter is grown in soil with store brand fertilizer. The other is grown in soil with homemade compost, with the choice of soil determined at random. So we have random assignment. So that's a random assignment. In 3 months, she will harvest and weigh the tomatoes from each point. Assuming that the conditions for inference are met, which of the following is the correct confidence interval procedure that Anne should use for this data? Well, here's the keyword. Two tomato plants, and we have randomly assigned, and they're both going to be in the same pot. So the problem is that it's going to be it's a paired t interval because we're trying to estimate um, the correct confidence interval. So it's obviously going to be an interval. And it's paired because the tomatoes are dependent of each other. They're going to in the same pot. So they're going to be subject to the same factors, like they might get the same watering, the same sunlight, but one's going to have compost, the other one's going to be in the fertilizer, so we can kind of see which one is going to be a better treatment as far as getting the plants to produce tomatoes. So it is going to be a pair T interval in this case here. Let's talk about why it's not the other ones. So it's not a two sample Z interval because Z is proportions, and this is dealing with means. We're talking about the number of tomatoes produced. So we're talking about means. So we're obviously going to use T, not Z. So we can cross out the Z right there. And there's no really paired Z interval because we don't have paired data for proportions. So as far as our answer choice go, it really boils down to, paired T or two sample T interval. And because these are dependent of each other, they're both going to be in the same pot. We're going to have to cross out the two sample T interval in this case.